Dylan, what's up, man?
Hey Frank, how you doing?
Good to see you. Thanks for your patience. I think we're running a little bit behind today. Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate you taking some time to talk. I really appreciate it.
How's your day going?
Not bad. It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good.
And
So
where's home for you, Dylan?
I am from Tampa,
Okay,
so I'm
awesome.
not
Are
too
you going to
far
be
away.
with the Bucks this weekend? Or are you coming to get a little rubber in your beer
No,
out in the race?
I'm covering the race this weekend. So I'll be
Sweet.
yeah, I wish I had the ins for the Bucks, but now I'll be at the race this weekend for sure.
You're
So
at the right place, man. You're going the right direction on I-4. So thank you.
yes. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Frank, I guess I'll begin things off. How excited is the track? Is everybody at the speedway for the race this weekend? Obviously, it's a pretty exciting time. You know, this race has always been a fun one the last few years, ever since it's gone to this portion of the season. So how's everybody at the track feeling about this weekend heading into it?
Dylan, the staff is pumped up. If you told me we had to drop the green flag tonight, we'd be ready to rip. This place looks amazing. Our campers started rolling in this morning. Gates are going to open up on Friday for our fans at 2:30, Saturday at 3:30. Our display midway area is going to be stuffed. I think we got about 10 more display and merch partners out there than we did year over year. Our camping is up. So overall, this event has a ton of great energy, a ton of fun. Excited to see Lit do the pre-race show on Saturday night. We're going to have an awesome anthem. We got a flyover coming out as well. So we're ready to see some racing, man.
I love it. I love it. Now, obviously, this race was always a regular season finale for the past few years. It went now to the second to last race before the regular season ends. So, uh, how is the perception from the fans? How are the fans still taking this race in? Obviously, with the change in the schedule, I know it's not a big change, but I imagine there's still a lot of excitement even from the fans, still, even with the change in schedule.
No doubt, Dylan. I mean, change is hard for anyone in any area of life. I think what has helped the World Center of Racing with the Coke Zero Sugar 400 is that even though we're not the last race of the regular season, we still have date equity. So it still is the same event weekend in the month of August. So when I look at our tickets that are sold and our camp spots that are sold and all of the track facing suites that are sold, when you look at the numbers, we're going to be busier this year than we were last year, which I think shows that we're doing a really nice job of throwing a great party, and the action on the track for this Daytona summer race is just second to none, man. It's a good time.
Now, I know you've been pretty busy. You've been traveling around, going to different places. You were at the Rays game back in, I believe, the end of June. You've been to other events and such. How important is that to be able to, again, market this event, not only to obviously the NASCAR locals and the NASCAR fans, but also to fans who may not even know that there's even a race happening in the month of August? So, how important is that to be able to connect with other fan bases and just different teams around the area and just different audiences as well?
I think there's a saying that is, before you go across town and tell your story, make sure your neighbor next door knows what your story is. So I take that to heart growing up in a blue collar community in Pennsylvania in a small business that I want the backyard of Volusia County to know all the great, exciting things that we have going on, as well as across the great state of Florida. We have so many passionate, awesome fans from Tampa. I love heading over to Tampa for the Rays games, for the Bucks games. And to your point, I love catching people off guard. Like, wait a minute, why are you here? Why is Daytona International Speedway here? And it's like, because we love baseball too, and we love football too, and we're sports fans as well. And oh, by the way, here's when our next NASCAR race is, or here's when the Rolex 24 is in the following year. So it gives us an opportunity to have a more relaxed conversation with our fans away from a busy event weekend. So it's a lot of fun.
You talked about lit. Obviously, fan engagement is a big part of Daytona and just being able to bring that atmosphere to the track. So, can you just talk a little bit about, how important it is to set up these type of events? Also, to add like something like Hard Rock Bet, where betting's becoming a huge part now of just sports in general. So you have that partnership in the fan zone. How important are these fan engagement activities and activations for the race weekend experience?
I mean, it makes or breaks your business. I mean, you can talk about it or you can be about it. I mean, you have to be out there with the race fans from the time that they roll in the infield, like this morning when our campers showed up, to when our last fan leaves the grandstands on Saturday night after we crown a champion of the Coke Zero Sugar 400. You've got to pay attention. You've got to ask questions and you've got to be authentic, right? I mean, the Daytona 500 is the great American race. Like, we need Pitbull on stage. We need the Thunderbirds. We need Miss America. And you think of all the stars and all the global VIPs that are here. And I feel we do a great job of maintaining, protecting, and growing that year over year. Our August race, I mean, it's end of summer party. And for our cup drivers, this is one of their last shots to make it into the playoffs. So we want to throw a big Saturday night party. So when we think of the band Lit, and some of their, classics that come on, like we want to get the party going and get people knowing that tonight means a lot and we're going to see some action on the track.
Yeah, in regards to the competition aspect of it, how exciting is this year's race? There's been a lot of drama this year, a lot of
Uh,
exciting finishes. It's been quite an eventful NASCAR season. So how what is this race looking like? I mean, we've had some great races in the past, but in overall, this race seems like it's going to be a lot of emotions and it's going to be a fun one.
yeah. I mean, I'm going to speak as a race fan for that question. Like, I'm fired up to see every lap of this race because, to your point, tension is high, anxiety is building. Some lines I don't want to say have been crossed, but have definitely been blurred. Just going back to Richmond, what took place there on the last lap to Tyler Reddick's in Michigan yesterday, that there is going to be a lot of drama every lap of the Coke Zero Sugar 400 that I'm excited to see what's going to unfold.
We saw the Corey LaJoy flip yesterday, and one of the big things that Daytona and that you guys with the track did was pave the back straightaway completely to kind of prevent some of that. How major of a move that was that for you guys? Just being able to again with the safety aspects of things, just adhere to safety for the drivers, for the people who are out on track. Obviously, it's a big deal to be able to keep those guys from having incidents like that happen and keep those guys safe because that's obviously a number one priority.
It's a real interesting position for myself to be in and my team, as we need to focus and think about NASCAR, but we also need to honor and respect every other sanctioning body that comes and races here, whether it's sports cars and or motorcycles. So what might be safer and the right move for one league might actually create a different dynamic for another league that is rolling in here. So a lot of smart people, a lot of people who are involved in that paving project. For anyone who's familiar with Talladega Super Speedway, if you were to look at an aerial, our backstretch rolling out of turn two looks like that now, to where there's not grass, there's pavement. So, yes, I mean, Corey LaJoy, I mean, really not a whole lot of contact, if any, just kind of
Yeah.
the arrow got him upside down. That in a place like Daytona, now not having that grass back there, if it were to happen back there, I would like to think that it would create a safer situation. But when you have these cars going that fast and something gets upside down, man, it's an interesting situation.
Now, let me ask you this. So, obviously, we saw a recent announcement by Bristol Motor Speedway about the MLB Speedway Classic coming to Bristol, and there was a few fans who were maybe saying, "Oh, we should bring it to Daytona." Are there other events that you guys would like to bring in, whether that be, pro sports like MLB and NFL or collegiate sports as well? I know there's a lot of rumors about maybe the Jaguars coming over to Daytona. So is that something maybe on the radar? You guys want to bring in maybe some other different sports and bring in some different audiences to come to the World Center of Racing?
We host some of the world's most premier and elite um, motorsports events, two wheels and four wheels. And we always want to maintain and protect that. But 100%, Evan, we are always looking for what is the next big opportunity that will not disrupt what we have built in motorsports, but could be additive to that. And we have a history book that shows that. Actually, before we raced the very first Daytona 500, we had a high school and a college football game that was played on our ball field. We actually hosted the very first NWSL regular season league game here during Soccer Fest a few summers ago. We were having great conversations with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and because of Soccer Fest, it really helped validate what can be done. We also host the country's largest rock music festival. So when I think of college, when I think of NFL, when I think of MLB, we've got the property that can support it. It's just a matter of figuring out those fine details.
To close it out with you, Frank, and again, I really do appreciate the time to get to talk to you. You know, coming out of this race here on Sunday, once the dust settles, what would you say has kind of just been the most rewarding thing after you've had all these races go past? I know you still got other events coming up here
Yeah,
in the coming future, but when you come out of this weekend, what do you think is kind of the most rewarding once you are completed with a NASCAR weekend or just any race weekend in general?
I would say that there's a big team element. Like I work with some amazing people on the racetrack side and across the street, in our front office, and everyone is passionate about the guest experience, about maintaining and protecting the world center of racing. Just that feeling of satisfaction that you see in your teammates' eyes and having the ability to say thanks or for them to realize that they made a difference in a guest's life. Like that is something that just can't be fabricated. And to feel that post the checkered flag is really special. And then just to see, our fans' reaction and our fans' response. They forget about work, they forget about school, they forget about the stress. I mean, they come here to get away from reality and to be entertained, and to see our fans having a great time just brings me a lot of joy. And trust me, I will leave with a legal pad filled with ideas of what we can do next year to make it even better. So in a weird way, that brings me joy as well of next year. All right, we're going to turn it up even more for our race fans.
I love it. Well, Frank, thank you so much again. Really appreciate the time. And I'm obviously looking forward to being able to see everything come together with the Daytona race this weekend. It should be a really fun one. And again, congrats to all the success that you guys have had prior leading up to this race as well.
Well, thanks for making time for me, Evan. We are thrilled that you're coming out. Hope you have a great time. Let Josh or I know if you need anything, okay?
Awesome. Thank you, Frank. Really do
We'll see you
appreciate it.
soon. Thanks.